So now if we go to Aries moon, Cancer sun, this would be someone that, just like the Taurus, kind of wants to act in a way that they know. So it may be a little more difficult, but at the same time, I feel like there'd be the learning opportunity. But because their birth cardinal, I feel like they could work well together. Like there's a chance for art, but there's also friction, right? So, but that makes sense, right? So yeah. So this would be someone that would want to act in a way where they have everything collected. Like they know that it's going to be an inviting environment before they come into it, right? They need to make sure everyone's on the same page. They need to make sure no one thinks that this is some type of other party, right? Like Cancer needs to make sure that everything in the environment is going to be nurturing, right? And it's going to resonate, right? That's the Jupiter exaltation in Cancer. It's going to be comforting, right? The moon. It's going to be receptive, right? So yeah, so basically this would be someone that's coming from a place where they're trying to initiate what they're trying to initiate, bring into being like from their spirit, right? Bring into being from spirit, right? Just initiate new, something that hasn't been seen before. They're coming from a place where they're trying to initiate a whole new lane, right? And then they're acting in a way where they need to know that they kind of got everything together before they express that. So I feel like this is someone that would be very expressive, right? Especially since we have fire and water, right? We have the two fiery elements, or not the two fiery elements, but the two like most volatile, right? If you think about the four worlds, at least almost kabbalistically and how I think about it astrologically, elementally wise, you have the fire on the most outer, right? The closest to just complete spirit, right? And then you have the water under that, and then you have the air under that, and the earth under that. So earth bottom, right? And then above that air, and then we have the water and the fire, right? Bottom up. Okay. So yeah, so this is someone, yeah, and so the water and the fire are the most like feelers, right? They're the ones that are the most like connected to like spirit or mystical things, the less logical, the less worldly, right? The more ethereal, the more spiritual, less corporeal, whatever you want to say, right? But yeah, so they're the feelers. They're the ones that like bring the energy, they bring the passion, they bring the feeling, right? There's my fucking dudes. So yeah, so basically, if you're an Aries moon, Cancer sun, you're going to be coming from a place where you're just trying to initiate something new, and you want to make sure that you have everything together, and then to act on that, right? So this would be someone that's very expressive because they'd initially have a vibe, and then they'd be able to emotionally gather that and like collect enough of that. Like they wouldn't necessarily have a vibe, they'd have like a vision, a dream, an individuality, a spark, right? And then they'd be able to collect enough sparks to where that'd become a vibe, right? The Cancer sun, they'd be able to piece that together in a solid environment. So this would be someone that'd probably be like very expressive, right? But personally, Mars, what they want to go get, personally expressive on what they go get, and then they build a vibe around soaking in that. So it is very me. Almost like Scorpio, but in a different way. Like Scorpio wouldn't need to make sure everything's solid, right? It would just kind of go for it once it's liberally there, like in that zone. It wouldn't like it wouldn't need to know everything's perfect, right? It would just like start building in a way, like it would just be like, oh, let's just go off of this, right? Like we had enough for a memory, because yeah, Scorpio is the one that is fixed water. There's been enough to form a memory, right? Whereas Cancer is like initiating memory. It's bringing everything together, bringing enough for that to be a memory, right? So then if we have Aries moon, Scorpio sun, yeah, like I said, there's someone that's going to be coming from a place where they're bringing stuff down from what they want, right? What they want in the moment, Mars, and then acting in a way where they're like receiving that, like just holding that, right? Like sitting with that, laying with that, and so yeah, they'd be acting in a way where they'd really be able to develop wherever they're coming from. It's almost like this person would get hit with an idea, and then they develop a craft or an image or a substance or like a memory or a water or a feeling out of that, right? And they'd really be able to express that to you. They'd be able to relate that in a way with their sun. But then it seems like they'd be able to get into that really deep, having the Cancer, then really nurturing that, right? But then because they're coming from such a Martian place, and the cardinal part of Mars, right? Since they're coming from this part of Mars, it's like they're going to be doing that again and again and again and again, right? They're not necessarily going to be stuck to something. They might develop their process on how Cancer Sun, they end up nurturing something, right? But at the same time, they're going to be always coming from a new place. So this is someone that's going to be coming from a place where they always are acting selfishly, bringing something into being, right? And then the way that's expressed is really developing that into a solid vibe, right? Into a solid memory, like nurturing that. And so, like, I don't know, like, this isn't necessarily creative projects. I feel like it could be, but like art, but it would be like more so the creating of a memory, the creating of a feeling, right? Like what art does. So yeah, very creative person, I feel like. So that would be Aries moon, Cancer sun, right? All right, first 4 elements done. All right, so we got